The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Whoa, now. What's happening, good people? What's going on with you? How you doing and all of that good stuff? I'm doing two things at one time. And Lord, look who beat me here.
If you fall, I'm laughing.
What?
If you fall, I'm laughing.
That's the type of friend you don't
I
want to
come
have.
and help you up, but I'm gonna be laughing.
No.
Oh, no, because you do the same
thing.
He trying to clean
Girl.
that up.
You do the same thing to me.
Don't try to put me.
You
Don't
fell
try
on your
to-
ass. I'm helping you up.
Nothing.
Hell.
That's exactly right. trying to see. Let me fall on the floor. And he gonna sit there and laugh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna laugh, G.
Yes, you are.
Boom.
No, I'm
She
not.
gonna be busting out
I'm
laughing.
gonna say, I'm gonna be in shock.
Saber, you think she's red now?
Oh, you calling her red? He got football today, huh?
He is. He's doing a lot.
We all got room to talk on that.
No, we don't. I
'Cause
didn't say
all of
anything.
us-
I didn't say anything
I didn't say
either.
anything.
We look like a three-way stoplight up in
We
here.
don't
we
know
don't.
Just
what
red.
you mean.
I don't know what you're talking about. Should we keep going?
What was you about to say?
I was about to ask him.
I feel like he's gonna cut up throughout this whole show.
I was about to say he must be having one of your syndromes.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
That's an inside joke. We're going to leave it there, yeah?
Leave it there.
All right.
Mhm.
I'll tell you later off the mic.
Okay.
Okay.
But you said I beat you here.
Yeah, what you doing today?
I made it a point to make sure I was here nice and early. And then here you go.
Well, of course, I'm doing 3 different jobs at one time. So
Mhm.
that's that. And then trying to get here is another one because you got to cuss all the people out driving.
Oh yeah, I did some of that too.
Yeah, they look at me like, that's the dude with the road rage.
Man, what's up with the traffic?
I don't know. I just think they got so much construction going on. So if you're trying to get off of 2-lane to get to I-10, they got one of those lanes blocked. If you're trying to get on to 610 from Canal Street, they had that whole thing locked down. So you could not get on that ramp from
What?
Canal Street to 610. So you had to go all the way through City Park or go all the way around and then make a U-turn and come back on 10 to go east on the 610.
It's the thing I've never understood about the city. When I lived in LA, they waited till the nighttime to do the work.
Yep.
Why do they wait till rush hour to do work here?
We're a little bit different.
Mhm.
That was all I had.
I just think you
We're
see
not like
it.
them.
Yeah.
I just think that you see just empty construction zones. Like I don't know when they do the work. I
But you
just
do
know
see a lot of
that
the
it's
signs.
always blocked off.
So I'm glad we started today so I can bitch a little bit.
You need your soapbox?
No. I brought my own today.
Oh,
It travels with me. hmm So how long I've been on here talking about? Well, I've been talking about how many streets. One in particular, Franklin Avenue.
forever and a day.
Somebody was listening. So guess what they went out there and did?
They put patchwork on it.
Patches.
Wow.
I was like, y'all got to be kidding me. Asphalt patches.
Yeah, the black ones, they're going to be gone in about a month.
Month?
Okay, 2 hours.
Well, no, I hope not because the store's gone already. But I got on the street and I was like, boom, 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 with my car. And I'm like, something feel different. What is it? They put asphalt in the hose.
What?
They put asphalt not in the potholes, but in the hose. And the majority of what's wrong with Franklin Avenue is past asphalt
Yeah.
patches.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's got so many different sinking holes that you cannot drive 50 to 100 feet on Franklin Avenue without losing the undercarriage of your car. And they went and patched it with asphalt. And I'm thinking to myself, but what about the sinking holes that make me go airborne?
Doing your Dukes of Hazzard imitation?
I was so mad yesterday.
How mad were you?
Thank you, Enos. I was so mad. I was like, y'all got to be kidding me. This is a waste of money.
Mm.
It's a waste of money. And I just got to the point where I just said, is this how we're going to go? Maybe we need to form an alliance that people can pitch in a couple of dollars, like $3 to $5, to get signs printed that say exactly what the folks out in Lakeview did. It says, fix my streets. And get those printed.
That's
Get
a
them
good
printed.
idea.
And start putting them down
Everywhere.
on the streets that need them the most.
That is so sad. Maybe we should submit a public comment to City Council.
So, I wasn't going to go there, but you made me.
I'm okay with that.
Because we even had one of the candidates running and talking about, so you know what's wrong with our streets to the other neighboring streets? Is that they got this many people working, and we got one crew working for 1,500 miles of road.
Oh, you've been watching TV.
But you on the city council. You didn't advocate for it?
Ding, ding.
How long were you there? 8 years? And you didn't advocate for it? And doesn't the city council control now the Department of Works budget? Because I could have sworn Lil Red Bottoms was so adamant. Y'all know who Lil Red Bottoms is. He was so adamant. Have y'all seen his signs? That's the ugliest ass sign I have ever seen in my life.
I haven't seen it.
Huh?
I haven't seen them.
Oh,
you
don't
gotta
want
show
to.
it. You gotta show me.
Oh my God.
Is that bad?
Oh God. It's red and blue.
It must not be in the areas where I be at, because I ain't
it's in
seen
white
no
people areas.
signs.
It's just in the white people area. That's all it's going to be.
In our areas, they're going to shoot them down.
Yeah. So he just got him in the white people area. That's who's going to love him. And that's who he's counting on putting him back in office. But anyway, I was looking around and saying to myself.
But he has some contenders. He got some folks.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Look, I love Pastor Manning. Pastor Manning is an advocate for everybody.
Man, that man shows up everywhere where I'm at. He shows up every single place. I was at a activist organization last week. Saw him there.
Yep. I saw him over the weekend. We were at Franklin Avenue on yesterday. Not Franklin Avenue. Sorry, St. Stephen's, Greater St. Stephen's had their Sunday morning service. Started about 10:30, and right after that, they had all of the candidates who were invited. All the candidates were invited to show up, and after service, come out and meet and greet people in their cafeteria area where they had a bunch of tables down so people could sit down. My old working partner over at Clear Channel, Elder Loretta Petit, was the hostess with the mostest. And she invited everybody to come to the microphone by category of what they were running for. And everybody got a chance to speak. I was surprised by a couple of folks, one being Frank Skurlock, who's also running for mayor, who got up and said in front of all these black people that you better watch out for the relationship between, this is not verbatim, by the way, for somebody to tell me, oh, you said that. Yeah, I did say it, but it's not verbatim. It was my, I guess my analogy of what he was saying, of watching out for the relationship between Troy Henry, who is the owner of this station, and Oliver Thomas.
That's ridiculous.
Really?
That's ridiculous.
And you could hear the murmurs coming through. Man. I was like, oh boy, you got you need to know the room.
That's ridiculous.
But you need to know your audience and know the room.
No, you don't want them to know the room. You want for them to say what they gonna say so you can see who they really are.
Well,
Because when they
Oliver-
try to scan the room, then they try to pander to you, and you don't get a chance to see what's really in their mind.
Well,
you know?
Oliver had death in his family, so he wasn't there. But somebody texted him what was being said, and when they did, next thing you see walking through the door
What?
is Oliver Thomas.
Go ahead.
I thought they were going to take up an offering. Tithes and offering call. Oliver got on the mic and he preached and let him have it. He let him have it.
That comment that Mr. Skurlock said was, you know, I had to hit it on him. That was just straight up.
Cut the music off.
Gotta play through.
Cut the music
Gotta play through. Everybody's dancing right now. Gotta play through. You ain't killing my dance floor.
Cut the music off. Cut the music off. Thank you.
Okay.
She was dead.
And I know she's
It was good. It really was good. It was appropriate for what
Took
we're
her back to
talking
her
about.
days at Rumors.
Oh, Lord. Not the rumors days. You went to rumors?
No,
Tell the truth.
no,
Tell the truth.
no.
You look like you went to
Before
rumors.
my time.
That was before your time? All right. Okay. All right. But the other, when he said that, everybody in the room started, you could hear the rumor. I mean, the rumble going through the room. And then when Oliver got there, Oliver told him, he said, man, you got to stop doing stuff like that because every time we have relationships with people, the first thing that's being said is something's wrong. But when you all have, and then he started reading quotes of the other folks and their relationships with different people that don't get that type of scrutiny.
Brad, what kind of, you mean
What you trying to say?
the racist who emailed Royce Duplessis from
The email.
Helena Moreno's back?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Those kind of concerning relationships where they talk
They don't get that
racial
type
language
of,
about us.
And they don't get those types of, oh my God moments. And he thought he was going to get that then, and he did not.
Yeah.
So, and then if you go back, and I'm going to just be honest, if you go back to not Oliver's, but his opponent's history, there's a reason why.
He would want to keep quiet.
You wouldn't want Mr. Thomas to start talking about you.
Hey, we won't go down that road, buddy.
Because I had jokes.
Oh, I know you had major jokes.
You want one?
I want one.
You want one?
Yep, I want
As long
one.
as it
got
doesn't
one.
get us put off the air.
Huh?
As long as it doesn't get us put off the air.
Oh,
Where's the little
never
beep
mind.
machine?
Never mind then. Yeah.
The whole joke, just one long beep.
Right, I got to give it to you.
ahead.
I got to give it to you. You ready?
Clean it
Go
up.
ahead.
So I told him, I said, it's interesting of the number of candidates that are out here today.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get here, Mr. Skurlock? What drove? I said, what were you driving? Regular vehicle? Oh. Then why you ask? I said, I thought you were riding in the Weenie Mobile.
Go to break. Go to break. Go to break. The Oscar Mayer wiener.
Is that how you got here? Oh, I wish I was Oscar Mayer wiener.
That is what I really love to be.
Mhm.
If people really knew what was going on,
Yeah.
they're probably dying right now.
Yeah, they know. We'll be right back, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
New Orleans deserves a leadership that actually delivers, fixing city services, cutting waste, and actually holding departments accountable. I'm not running because I want the title of mayor. I'm running because I want to be the people's mayor. We've done so much. Crime is down over the last 3 years. Six Flags is being revitalized after 20 years of neglect. Lincoln Beach finally funded, but we have more to do. I'm Oliver Thomas. I'm running to be your mayor. Not for me, but for us.
Paid for by Friends of Oliver Thomas.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Hot. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It is Monday. Why am I saying that so enthusiastically? Like, it's just Monday.
You ready to get to the week?
Oh, that's what it is.
Let's do it.
In the building, having some conversation with us, the one, the only, Dr. Shepard.
Hello, hello.
You know, Suzette came in and did the show with us on Friday.
Oh, word?
I said, we got to do one with all three of us.
I was going to say. You
have
a lot going on.
That'll be the one that I'll be able to sit back.
Oh, you just want me to just go in and talk?
Yeah, both of y'all. Y'all have that same and just that same ferocity to, knock it out the box.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I just like to be able to work the phone and say, we'll be right back.
That's not true, G.
Yeah, of course.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
But that would sound like a robust conversation.
We're going to do that then. All right, we're going to make that happen. All right, let's go to the phones. Winston?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Winston?
Hey there, how you doing, G?
Good. What's going on with you, man?
Man, nothing much. Listen, I was just calling because I've been hearing the news about the firefighter, I guess, that got suspended and things of that nature for comments that he made.
Her.
So I was wondering
wasn't it?
when we gonna start the GoFundMe. But that's what they would do for Dylan Roof and everybody else. So when we gonna put together GoFundMe for that young man? I'm just curious about that. I know that you got the ears.
I think that was a young lady, wasn't it? A young lady.
Fire for what?
Who it was.
I think it was a white young lady.
Fire for what?
Fired for her comments against
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
I was gonna say, G. I was surprised that you wasn't like in mourning over this weekend.
But it was a young lady, correct?
I don't know.
I saw a black young lady got fired.
I don't know. That's really
I
wild.
didn't know the black young lady got fired.
She was in the medical field or something like that and got fired for it.
Locally?
I know they said it was a New Orleans firefighter, so I don't know who it was. I automatically assumed it was a black person. It could have been a white person. But whoever it was, I was figuring, man, let's do a GoFundMe. I was just thinking about that. I don't know if they're suspension or fired or whatever the case may be, but the news is only giving you part of it. They never said a name. They never said, anything of that nature. They said a New Orleans firefighter was suspended. They were talking about conduct unbecoming of a firefighter.
Well, if you didn't see a black person being shown or their name released or their picture, then that means it's probably somebody white.
You know what? You're probably right. I didn't think about it like that. But you're probably right.
If it was a black person, you would know. Okay.
We would know. You know what? Well, I'm going to have to digress on that one, G. But, yeah, that was something that we definitely...
Hold on. I'm looking it up at the same time. I'm just trying to make sure. Because what I saw was
suspended, though, at all. She didn't deserve that, though. If everybody else could say their viewpoints on Facebook and Twitter, whatever case may be.
She's white.
She could make it. She was white?
Yes.
Okay. They never
Mm-hmm.
said what she said. So if
What
you
did
could
she
find that
say?
again, put it out. I don't know. If you could put that out to us, G, we truly appreciate it, my brother.
Well, number one thing that I saw was that they did not, everywhere they did the story, just about everywhere where they did the story, they didn't post her picture. So that was the first thing that made me go, who this is.
Mm-hmm.
And second thing about it is we didn't hear about it in every news department.
And do they say her name?
Mm-mm.
They don't say her name.
They don't say nothing about it. They don't show a picture. They just say
Uh-huh.
it's
An
behavior
employee.
unbecoming of a
Mm.
New Orleans firefighter, and we don't feel that way. So how they supposed to know how everybody else supposed to feel? Though it's okay for him to feel that way and say what he said. It's
Right.
not okay for the other side to voice their opinion about it.
So
Right.
can I ask you this though, Winston? Did you have a problem with what happened and what has transpired after the death?
Listen, I have a problem with the way America's acting. This guy wasn't an official. He wasn't a political official, anything of that nature. He was just a sounding, a mouthpiece for the right wing, and he said a lot of detrimental things to every race except the white race. So I'm sorry, nobody deserved to die that way. But now you got to answer to God about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have nothing, no sorrow for him at all. Just because he's dead doesn't mean that now I feel sorry for him. Something
Well,
like that. And
look, Winston. Charlie Kirk wouldn't have wanted you to feel sad because he said that empathy was a weakness and that we shouldn't have empathy. He said empathy was a woke construct and it is detrimental. So if you don't have empathy, that's the way Charlie would have wanted it. Okay.
Man, go ahead and drop the mic on that one.
Okay.
You can drop the mic on that one. That's the way he would have wanted it. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't why America's running around here crying and going crazy and all the flags of the half staff and things of that nature. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what this man stood for? He stood for nothing good, and he Dr. King's mouth out of your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Keep it. His name, I should say, his name out of your mouth. Excuse me.
We
So,
got it.
yeah,
We
I
understood
thought-
what you meant on that one. Well,
yeah.
I mean, everybody else talk about it.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, the whole world's talking about, but they want to have they want a one-sided opinion on the whole thing. Like we supposed as black people, we should feel sorry for somebody who demeaned us, and talk
Right.
crazy about us as a race of people, and we should feel sorry for him now that he's dead. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
So,
You know?
okay, with that being said, let me ask you this question because you done opened up this can of worms. So I want to get it from you. What do you think about all of these, I think, corporate football teams honoring him during the beginning of games, including the Saints? Saints did it too.
That floored me when I saw that the Saints was one of the teams. I'm mad with Chick-fil-A. I see Chick-fil-A flags are flying at half staff, and
What?
I talked to one of the managers, yes, and they said it came from corporate. So we know where they stand, right? So, I like Chick-fil-A, but I'm gonna have to cut back. I'm gonna try my best not to go there anymore. To be honest with you, I was in love with their Southwest salad, but not anymore. But they was flying their flags at half staff, and the Saints. My verdict for Gail Benson, she gets a lot of love from African Americans in the city, but my verdict on her has always been, I think she's a racist. I've always felt that way about her. I think her and Tom, they both was full of it, and they just make money off the city. I think she could care less about what we go through. You show me what side you stand on when you honor those type of people. So
Yep.
if you're gonna honor that, you're gonna side with that. You're gonna say he deserves a moment of silence. Then I know where you stand because he didn't deserve anything. With all the black people sitting in that state. But
Mm-hmm.
again, we got a lot of black people in New Orleans walking around here, eyes wide shut, and
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah,
We
that
have
is
a
a
lot
problem.
of them.
You're
So they're
definitely.
gonna walk around here every Sunday. They went to the game, they came out the game. None of them even mentioned the fact that I found out about the Saints doing a tribute or honoring him or whatever it was from ESPN, from CNN.
Mm-hmm.
None of my friends that went to the game said anything about it. When they came out the game, everybody was mad that they lost. They talking about the game, but nobody had nothing to say about. Wait a minute, why is this happening? You know what this man stood for, and that's the eye opener to me that they have put it across the world. Everybody know what he stood for, and black people, we supposed to fall in line with that now that he's dead? It's supposed to make a difference to us?
Well, I think
Yeah, like you just said.
that's the major problem too now, and
That's
that is exactly what you're saying, that black people are not falling in line with it, and that's the part that's more than likely causing all the hysteria amongst many white people, because they think that their loss or their showing of empathy is supposed to be the same thing that we do.
But I mean,
exactly. But
even with that, it's not like it's the average white person who feels that way behind Charlie Kirk. It's these extremists and these conservatives that feel that way behind him. So it's not even just like it's a straight up racial thing. It really, I mean,
right,
they use race and they deploy race, but the only people he cared about were straight white men. He talked crazy about white women. He talked crazy about queer people. He talked crazy about black people and Mexican people. It's like we could go down the whole list, and some stuff was just generally crazy. Now, he said that he was okay with public executions. Well, guess what? That chicken came home to roost. He got it. He was in support of that.
Exactly.
So why should we do anything other than even what he would have wanted? He wanted public executions with no empathy, and he could get it.
That's right. And he got it. And, I think first, the situation that happened at First Emmanuel, I know you guys got to go, but I think with all those black people coming together saying they forgive. And
in
I
South
know,
Carolina,
forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. But I think that kind of gave us a bad light because they expect us to forgive for everything. But, I never forgave Dylan Roof, so that's just me, though.
Well, I made a point when we started talking about what happened at First Emmanuel, that if that was my mother, that boy took from me, I'm not going to be the one to walk out of that church in front of those cameras and tell everybody, yes, I forgive him. Now, I may forgive him over a period of time, but you asking me 2 days after you walk into that church and shoot and kill my innocent grandmother, mother, whoever? Hell no.
Exactly. And on top of that, you see what happens as soon as he got killed. What happened to the HBCUs? They had to go on lockdown and stuff like that.
And that's what I meant by it's them thinking that if black people don't have the same grief as they do, then there's something wrong with us, and they're going to try to put us in line.
Exactly, and that's what I see. And the Saints was one of, like you said, it was a couple other teams. I think it was Pittsburgh as well. I can't remember. I'm sure the Dallas Cowboys was one as well. I'm sure it was Dallas too. But I was floored by the Saints because we're such a small city, and I just don't know I don't know what's her reasoning for doing that. Who was she trying to appease doing that situation? And I can't even put it on her if it was Benson or if it was management, but I'm sure they let her know that they were going to do it prior to that. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. She should have fought back because we are majority black city, and if enough black people just decided, well, you know what, we not going with it, then they should be able to see empty stadium seats, less merch.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They lucky somebody don't go and burn their jersey. Okay.
Exactly.
They should feel the kind of boycott that would crumble the organization, and they've been doing shady practices for quite some time. But people don't like to go against the Saints because they like something to do during the fall season.
So. That's exactly what it. Jim, I'm gonna let you go, but I used to have a buddy used to tell me back in the day, black people, we have a button in the back of our head somewhere, and white people know where to press it. And when they press that button, we do exactly what they say, or we fall in line with whatever they say, basically. And I'm starting to believe, I think we do have a button in the back of our heads. Somewhere.
I'm feeling right now.
I'm hoping not.
All right, Winston.
All right, I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, Galloway.
What's going on, Brother Gerard?
What's going on with you?
Hey, you talking about rumors, whispers, and stars. I heard that earlier.
See
I
that?
started jumping around up in here, man.
He done woke it up. He done woke it up, too. I'm telling you. Wick, you done woke it up, boy. You done woke him up.
Yeah, there was some days there, man. It was dangerous, but it was fun. It was worth it. I caught plenty of whoopings behind going to them clubs. I can tell you that much, boy. Man. And then you had to hit me with the Oscar Mayer Wiener joke. Man, I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, but I ain't going to talk about that.
You got that one, though, then, huh?
I caught it. I said, oh, he hit somebody there.
Like, how'd you get there? I was riding Oscar Mayer Weenie Mobile. Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about people being fired. LSU fired one of their law professors.
They did?
Yeah. Well, she's suspended, but they're gonna fire her. Kelly Carmina. She a Caucasian lady. And she said that she would celebrate somebody's death like that, because the man was evil, racist, bigot. Everything she said was true, but
that was the white professor, right?
Yes, that's the white professor.
Yeah, yes.
But now the Washington Post shocked me. The last black full-time columnist worked there for 11 years. They fired her today because she used one of Charlie Kirk's quotes. You got to read her whole opinion. She's an opinion writer, but she used his quote, the quote where she said that she quoted where he talked about black women not being smart enough to hold a job. She used that. If you read it, you'll be like, okay, hey, what's wrong with this? And they let her go. These people ain't playing. It's crazy that this man can say what he wants to say.
And nobody else can have their own opinion.
Yes, and just because the way he was unalived by one of his own, because it's going to come out that was Nick Fuentes, who's a MAGA, another Trump guy. It was one of his people. That dude was a Nick Fuentes follower. Fuentes and Charlie Kirk, both MAGA, they just didn't like each other. So I don't get why they trying to come down and get every black person. So if you have a job and you on social media, if they're going to fire the newspaper people, they're going to fire you. So people be careful what you write. I'm not saying be scared. Because I told them folks when I walked in the office this morning, fire me if you want to, but I'm not normalizing a racist bigot. There's no way. What this man has said about black fathers not being in the homes, that's a lie. I can go back to my great-great-great-great-grandfather that was right there, that was sold from North Carolina to New Orleans in 1800. And we always been, so I cannot stand when that myth comes around about black fathers. And here I am like, what are you talking about? Everybody I knew grew up, knew who their father was, living in the house with them. I'm like, y'all find some weird, crazy stuff to say about black people, and you got some black people agreeing with it. And because Kurt said it, black men are not in the homes. How you know? What black household have you ever been into? You just read something that they put on stats, and y'all go with it. And I'm like, that's crazy, man. And all these NFL teams that's giving a moment of silence. Now, you did not give not one moment of silence for those political figures, actually elected politicians in Minnesota. Right. They was killed by a MAGA. The man was wearing a latex mask. Not one word from them. But y'all gonna give a moment of silence to somebody who knows that that don't like black people. But if you don't, bend the knee and kiss Donald Trump's finger, because he's behind all this stuff.
So here's the question I got for you, Galway, because this will probably be going on as a topic for the next couple of weeks, and then we're gonna forget it, and then until the next thing happens. And I'm just being honest with you. That's how it goes these days. These news cycles are 30 minutes, talk shows for 2 hours. What else can we have? Podcasts for 20 minutes. Other pieces on social media, just hit pieces that are 30 seconds or a minute. And that's how we operate today. But it used to be, now this is what I'm getting at, honestly. I just gave you a preview. But what it used to be is somebody said something, there was a movement that took place. So all these folks that's angry right now, not going to be angry in 2 weeks. Something else going to happen. That's going to make you angry on that one. And then we're going to put this in the same context of what happened to George Floyd. Same context which happened to Breonna Taylor. Same context that has happened from Martin Luther King on up. And that context, we don't have movement. We have mouth movement. We just talk about it. So I guess if nobody's really making a stand to do something, we're going to continuously hear somebody talking about it. We're going to hear good speeches about it. We're going to hear those that ain't going to do. But it's the same thing with the stores that don't that went to, what's the store? Rouse's. The man that owned it went to the insurrection. And
On January 6th, yeah.
We protested for a week or two and didn't go in the store. But we back in there like nothing ever happened.
That's not me. I know what you're talking about. I refuse to give these bigots my money. I know it's hard, and every time I come down to Orleans Parish, I seek out, just like I do here. I don't care if you're a black-owned store. If you are $2, $3 more expensive, so what? I'd rather go there instead of spending my money with people I know that don't like me, that don't care about me. And I think that's a huge problem in our community. We will break our neck just for acceptance, and them people would not ever accept you.
Yep, you're right.
That's the truth.
All right, Galloway. Thank you, brother.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. More coming up in a minute, y'all. You got all our phones hooked up here. Dr. Shepard always does that. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the Community Scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Every Friday at noon on WBOK. Fresh produce, local flavor, and a healthy you. New Orleans East Hospital is hosting a farmers market the last Wednesday of every month from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Join us in the parking lot across from the main entrance. Support local farmers and your wellness. We'll see you there.
Join New Schools for New Orleans, All-State Sugar Bowl, and Integy New Orleans in recognizing and celebrating the Teachers of the Year at our 4th annual New Orleans Excellence in Teaching Awards Gala. The gala will take place Saturday, November 1st at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. This year's gala will feature New Orleans legend DJ Jubilee. Don't miss out on this intimate celebration supporting our New Orleans public school teachers. Tickets can be purchased on our website, newschoolsforneworleans.org.
WBOK. Online at WBOK1230.com. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Monday. Dr. Shepard in the building, y'all.
What's up, everybody?
And Cedric, you're on line 1. What you say?
Hello, Dr. Shepard.
Man,
Hey, Cedric, how you doing?
Family.
What happened to your tires?
They Thursday night I came from an event and 2 of them were punctured, and I know by whose campaign because I am talking to Negroes about the importance of us keeping Negro leadership. And if I'm talking as if I'm Dr. King, then maybe I am in the spirit. There were only 4 home teams that did not allow this moment of silence. That was the Jaguars, the Bears, the Rams, and the Cleveland Browns. And I want to tie that into, again, here with this local election. If we don't see where people are doing what they want to do, and that's why it's important for us to keep a black person at the helm of the city, because they don't care about our feelings. Now, what's unfortunate is you got Negroes that have cut somebody else's tires because they're trying to keep Negroes empowered. This ain't the time for us to give up on black leadership. And again, I have a police report because somebody supporting that campaign or their wife in that campaign threatened to put their hands on me. And before they can erase it, I screenshot it and went and got a police report. I am talking with some high-powered attorneys or what have you, but more importantly,
people, do not allow folk to pull the wool over your eyes. In this season, we cannot afford. Just look at yesterday. The Saints and the rest of them. Look how they are disrespecting us. To someone who was disrespectful to black people, but in particular to someone to pretty much say that black women can't think.
Right.
Now, all of us black men, we come from black women. J.P. Morrell, you traveled through a black woman's birth canal. So how in the world are we going to give up
that
on
dude
us?
was hatched. He was hatched. No, bro. He was hatched.
So today,
quack,
because I'm pissed, because we all know tires are expensive, whether you're getting them new or used. But the Spirit of God told me to go to the grave site of Miss Mahalia Jackson, lastly, as I close. People may not know that gospel great from New Orleans and a black woman, she told Dr. King, tell him about the dream. Right. Marty, tell him about the dream. He had a speech that wasn't, I have the dream. But because that black woman from New Orleans pushed him, we now know that speech is down in history as one of the greatest of all times. I say that to say this. We cannot afford to give up on us in this season when everybody else is disrespecting us. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's all over social media that somebody had gone out there and slashed his tires. I'm like, boy, this is probably somebody that this campaign don't mean no good to in the first place. It was thinking that they're going to get something out of this and probably going to end up being left alone. But is there something different with this campaign compared to, you all right?
I'm okay.
All right. You sure?
Uh-huh.
You want me to get you some water?
I'm okay. I got a little bit right.
All right. What was I saying? Is this campaign different than any other election campaign that you've seen in your history of paying attention to campaigns?
I feel like this campaign is symbolic of when people talk about dirty Louisiana politics.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you see a lot of that going on right now.
It's going to get worse.
Oh, my. As we get closer.
We 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
At least 4 weeks out. So it's going to get worse. The plans of dirtiness usually start happening probably in, I think, the week of, or maybe the week prior to. So probably within the next 2 weeks, we're going to really start seeing the dirty tricks coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially those that are behind. The ones that are ahead more than likely won't be going to as many forums anymore. They won't be showing up in the political arenas anymore because of the fact that they are so far ahead according to the polls. But I just thought to myself, I said, man, this one is a little bit different to me because social media is so much involved in it. And the lies and all the deceit amongst the folks that are calling themselves the persons to watch on social media because I'm an influencer. That's the part that I'm like, y'all fighting amongst yourselves. And the people that are running for office are more than likely not even paying attention to what you're doing. So I wonder how anybody else feels about that. 504-582-9422. Are you seeing more underhandedness going down in social media than any other time? Let's go to Denise. Denise?
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm a resident of District E. I started a little group. Well, it's a growing group of residents for District E, which includes, of course, the New Orleans East and the Lower Ninth Ward. But I just had to get on today because you are so correct. There are a lot of paid actors. A lot of paid actors. I can name one, Reggie Ford. who's hot and heavy for Helena Moreno, and he has been that way for some time. But we know that he's a paid actor. And yeah, he's doing what he has to do to keep her where she is, and does not answer the questions that need to be answered, or call her into question for a lot of the things that she is not doing. We know she was the councilman at large for 8 years. She has been the councilman at large for 8 years, been on the utility chair. And when I did my research, and I'm saying this because this is very important that we as a constituency do our own research. We cannot trust the media to provide us with the details. They'll tell us, oh, she's got this many contributions from this and that. But when you really look in the background, as I have done, pulled up her campaign contributions and done background work, you find out that Entergy has been giving her money through PACs and through lobbyists such as Jones Walker and Adams and Reese. You also find that a lot of her donors are Republican. Not saying necessarily they're MAGA, because some people are saying, oh, there's a difference between MAGA and Republicans, but guess what? It's Republican money. Bottom line is she gets big business money, and she's more for big business than she is for working class citizens. So you would have to wonder why, if she's the utility chair, haven't a lot of things have there been so many issues with Entergy? Why is there so much delay and so much drag and so much giving Entergy the benefit of the doubt, whereas the people like myself have to deal with clap on, clap off lights, where the people like you and I have to deal with boil water advisories on a normal basis, not every so many months, maybe 6 months or twice a year. I'm talking about almost on a constant. When you look at us having to pay for trash triple the cost of what we used to when it was twice a week. Now it's once a week. We're paying more money for it. She was at the helm of all of that. Mm-hmm. And she also was at the helm of causing a lot of the chaos between the council and the mayor's office. But we want to give, and this is where I have a problem with Reggie Ford and all of the so-called paid actors who support her, and including some of our so-called black delegation, like Cedric Richmond and DA Jason Williams and now Troy Carter. Oh, wow. Well, they're coming for you, Carter. They're coming for you. But anyway, I have a problem with that, is because it's about the working class citizen. We're the ones who are being nickel and dimed out of our own city. I mean, we can't even afford to be here. We can't even afford to pay for our electric bill. We can't afford to pay the water bill. We can't afford to do anything in our own city, but yet you want us to chuck and jive and dance on the corner for you. We can't even afford it because Moreno, for 8 years and more, has been the one in office throwing the rock and hiding our hands, taking the money from Entergy and all of these PACs and utility companies and these Republicans who really want New Orleans badly.
Yeah.
And don't care about working class citizens. So I just had to say that because when you mention influencers, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who are willing to take money from her.
Got it.
So that they can get her in office.
All right. Thank you, my dear. We appreciate the call.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, more coming up, y'all. We got to do news.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. New York City plans to bring universal after-school programs to all public K-8 schools. Black Mayor Eric Adams signed an executive order creating a commission to design a blueprint for implementation. The effort is backed by more than $750 million in previous investment and support for nonprofits. Atlanta's National Center for Civil and Human Rights has reopened after major renovations, adding new galleries and interactive exhibits. Funded by philanthropists, the expansion highlights racial justice, democracy, and human rights victories, aiming to inspire children and adults to engage in advocacy and civic life. And Jay-Z, Michael Rubin, and Meek Mill raised over $20 million for criminal justice reform at the Reform Alliance Casino Night and Gala in Atlantic City. The star-studded event featured Beyonce, Kevin Hart, and Travis Scott in a charity auction. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Our number 504-582-9422. Dr. Shepard is in the building.
Hello, folks.
You are too. Glad y'all are part of the conversation. Our number 504-582-9422. Have you thought about this, though, in this political season? And I think I'm thinking I'm speaking the truth on this, which is amazing to me, that a lot of these influencers, whether they like that I talk about them or not, are creating more stuff. I won't say doo-doo, but doo-doo, than the candidate is probably aware of, him or her. Nobody in particular. I'm just talking about the influencers. So the fight actually seems to be between influencers, and y'all ain't running for nothing. Why is there such a fight amongst the influencers, but not the candidates? It's the candidate that I'm worried about. I could give a damn about the influencer. You ain't running for nothing.
Yeah, but the influencers shape public opinion. Like I heard her call out Reggie. Yeah, they do. I heard her call out Reggie, and
they do.
I am an admirer of his activism and other work that he's done. But I could see.
I'm pushing you.
Why?
Okay, go ahead.
But I could.
But there's another side. You forget that side.
No, there is. When she said paid actors, I was like, oh, in the back of my mind, and thinking about what I've seen from different people, not just him, but different people on social media. It's like, oh, they are kind of extensions of people's campaigns, and they sway public opinion because so many people are on Instagram. So many people are going to be able to see that. It's like an informal way of running a campaign. I don't want to go back to Charlie Kirk, or maybe I do, but that's the reason why so many people were impacted by him and his death, because I was looking at, because I didn't know that much about him except for how he targeted young people to debate and then would railroad them in a debate by pressing his opinions on college campuses instead of going to professors. So I didn't know that much. So I started looking up things about him, and they said that Trump credited him with giving him the youth white vote, right? And so that's to say he was an influencer with his own organization who received money from Israel, but he was able to influence enough people to where Donald Trump thanked him for his role in his campaign. Now, of course, I think that other things went askew when it came to Trump's votes, but I'm just to say, like, that's how influential the influencers are, even when it comes to politics and elections.
I'm looking at a couple of posts here, one of which comes from, I think that's Monique, where she's saying you can't lie about facts. So what I am looking at is the average person is looking for debatable information. What they aren't looking for are the facts that really aren't facts, but they make them and put them and mold them into what you believe as facts. You understand? They're lies.
Yeah, but nobody's worried about facts right now, G. Like, it's good that we're talking about this with Charlie Kirk, because nobody's interested in the facts. The FBI said they had carved bullets of homophobic or sentiments and all of this other stuff, and they told us what the bullets said, and then they came back and said there was nothing on the bullets. We confused it with the marks of like regular marks on bullets. Nothing was actually etched on there. So they put out a story and then they take the story back. Nobody's concerned about facts. President Trump, right after Charlie Kirk was killed, then people want to know why the right is so riled up. He put out a video claiming that it was progressives and leftist extremists, and no one had been caught. So they already jumped the gun and said that. Bibi Netanyahu came and read a letter talking about they was pen pals and all of this other stuff, and people have come out and called the letter fake. So nobody is concerned about what the actual facts are. It's about how people feel. The fact that they feel like someone who was leftist or black did something is what got them to call HBCUs and have a threat. It got the neo-Nazis parading around in people's...
Now I can debate you on that part. Is that what you're thinking, that's what caused them to call black HBCUs?
Yeah, somebody made the connection earlier. It was a day or so after Charlie Kirk was killed. Trump came on the news and said that it was somebody who was progressive and leftist. And the next day they was calling in those bomb threats or whatever threats to HBCUs. And the neo-Nazis have been marching because they think the person isn't MAGA. When at least the fall guy or the person who they're saying pulled the trigger was one of their own. And yet they have not had any conversation amongst themselves about how their ideology breeds violence.
But I just don't think that that's the entire reasoning behind them threatening HBCUs or anything black at that time.
I'm saying it's connected. It might not be the whole reason. It's connected.
Well, the reason that I think it is because of the fact that, yes, it has something to do with black people, but it's the opposite of them knowing that we didn't do it. It had nothing to do with us. They done seen the picture. They knew who it came from. They know that he was from Ohio or whatever part it was. But the reason I think that this is connected is because of the fact that our sympathy is not their sympathy. Our empathy is not their empathy. And they think that we should feel the same way they do. And when we don't, then that's a problem. So, okay, y'all don't feel like us? We're telling you that that's a hero. How many times have we heard that this man is a hero when most black people know that he ain't? Nowhere near being a hero. Don't try to make your hero my hero. That is not my hero. Most of us are saying that he's a racist. So because we don't feel like they think that we supposed to feel.
Okay, I got that.
That's what's making them mad at us.
I got that. I can see that.
You understand what I'm saying? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted.
Yep. I can see that.
I just wanted us to see the facts, and the facts are no. They already know it wasn't us. Before we saw the first photo of the man and said he ain't black.
No, I'm talking about before the photos even came out.
Yeah, but even when the photo came out, we saw him and said he not one of us. Because you know what we do when something happens. First thing we do, we sit there and go, Lord, please don't let it be one of us. And I'm looking around and hearing, I heard the name, and I said, oh, Lord Robinson. Oh, Lord. Then I saw the photo, and I said, that ain't us. That's not one of us. Then they had a closer up photo. That's not one of us. So what are you mad at us for? Oh, we threatening your HBCUs, and y'all need to do this, and y'all ending this. No. You're mad now because our thinking is not your thinking. We didn't put the empathy. We didn't put the analogy of, oh, they killed him out there like that. We put it out there because we're saying, should no one, no matter what race you are, be shot down like a dog?
Yep.
But as far as the other part of it, no. I don't feel that way because
I think even the first part.
Beliefs. I said this the other day, and you agreed. Point blank, they're pissed off because they couldn't get a race war that they wanted. That's what they wanted. They wanted the race war.
And they weren't going to get it from us because you can't tell us that we, as African Americans, are the most, I guess, racist or ready to fight and go to war anytime something happens. We're not that way. Our makeup is not that way. But you push us. Then when our anger is a whole different anger. But as far as being able to say that we did something like that and just going to get on Only time I even remember in my lifetime, as far as black people being snipers, was when Washington, D.C., when Muhammad and his other associate were taking out people in the trunk of a car.
Yeah, I remember that, the D.C. sniper.
D.C. sniper. And
but I just think that what is overdue is the right having a conversation with themselves about how their hate spews violence that comes back to them. Now we got that way because I was just talking about how facts don't matter when it comes to these kind of things. And so we were talking about local politics and the fact that facts don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just giving that as a euphemism to be able to say, or a metaphor to be able to say, facts don't matter, even inside of those situations. Like, you're seeing things happen and occur that don't really make sense.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's go to the phone lines here. Hey, Miss Matthews. Miss Matthews? Miss Matthews, going once. All right, call me back. George.
Hey.
What's up?
Man.
Hey, George.
Hello? Baby, look. Man, look. Two things can be right at the same time, bro.
Okay.
And Dr. Shepard is exactly right, because Donald Trump came on TV within minutes and blamed the left, blamed Democrats, and that started the ball rolling to blaming black people, because they see black people, all black people, as Democrats. And two things can be right at the same time, bro. I ain't saying you wrong, but I'm like, Doc, they believe a lie because they tell a lie. That's all they do is lie. They lie and back the lie up with a lie.
Right.
Ain't that right?
Yep. They've been quadrupling down on their lies.
Not quadrupling.
Yeah, because it's more than doubling down.
Quadrupling, yeah.
All right. What's your other point?
That's the point I was making, bro. Because here's the other thing, right? I'm looking at all of these commercials come on TV with all these black faces, propping up and holding on to some stuff. Look, I don't know why that brother Duplessis decided all of a sudden he was going to get in the campaign when he was previously asked whether he was going to run. He said no. I think, I don't know him. I don't want to just be disparaging towards him, but he, like anybody else, know this is going to be a two-person race. And I don't know why he decided he was going to jump up in the race. Right? Because if these people in this city don't understand, once you vote this white person in, you'll never, ever have another black anybody win. I don't care what the percentage of your community is. Because you are going to be disempowered. You are being economically phased out of this community. So I don't get it. And OT need to go on and run some of them hard-ass commercials that these people keep talking about they got facts for. We need to be seeing them on TV. We need to know on live when he was talking to Gary Chambers the other night about the emails and how they're inciting racism. That need to be put out there.
Yeah.
This is not a time for anybody to be pissant around and pandering around any politeness. There's nothing polite about this. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the National Guards about to be brought into the city.
1,000 of them.
Baby.
Right.
That is just even more logs to throw on the fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just basically called because I'm like, I'm listening to you, G, and I agree with you 100%. But I'm sitting there listening to Doc. Doc, it's good that you back in the hap again. I'm glad to see you back in the saddle.
Thank you, George.
Doc is 100% on point because they lie. They lie. And all of their lies ain't nothing but toward hating black people. And everything that they have done is to disenfranchise, take away our history, take away our DEI hires, cause 300,000 black women to be unemployed, take away some of the small middle class base we got, take away our funding from HBCU. All of that's coming. Trump said he's going to do all that. Right. And this girl, ain't her husband nigger? Ain't that a fact? Ain't that a fact out there? Her husband is nigger.
Mm-hmm. He's Republican.
Yeah. So, we need to quit pissing around with this. And I'm like enjoying the show, but yeah, my temperature's right. But before I get off the air, I got to say this because I'm going to say it. If I'm not listening to WBOK, first of all day, and I ain't listening to George G. Man Stevens now with Doc back on, and I saw you had Miss Suzette on the other day. Boy, y'all getting fired up over there. If I ain't listening to the reality check with Wick on the backboard, we slamming down on Sundays. I got to give you props on your music, boys. All right. If I ain't listening to WBOK, I'm gonna miss out on some important black facts. Not only do I need to know, but I need to start putting out in the community myself. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What'd he say? That's your buddy.
It is. He is.
That is. Asana? Am I saying it right? Miss Asana? Am I saying it correct?
Ashana. Yeah, Ashana. Yeah, you said it right, Ashana.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah, I was listening, and I agree. I mean, I agree with everything y'all said about the influences and everything. And I feel like we're not taking this seriously enough as New Orleanians, especially since the big beautiful bill is going to hit in 2 years, right? And so we have a lot of parishes that depend on agriculture that do not realize that they depend on a SNAP program. When all that dries up and Sugarland can't sell their sugar like they want to, right? They're going to come to New Orleans and try to get our money, period, point blank, because we are going to be the only people that are still getting international tourism, because our domestic tourism is going to dry up because the whole country is going to go into depression when those food stamps dry up. Because the amount of white people that are dependent on food stamps and agricultural programs connected to food stamps is gigantic.
So let's hope this happens. I'm wishful thinking because I don't know if it can yet, because there is an election that has to happen, and that's the midterm elections.
Right.
I thought, now this is just me, I thought that there would be more effort in the Democratic Party to find someone or persons that would be worthy of running a campaign. You got, a year and a half now to get that person up to par, up to speed on everything that they need to know, make sure that their background is good, make sure that they can carry themselves, make sure that they are good to be a candidate for those midterm elections. And we've got open seats across the country now. So you would think that since we're only looking for how many, I think 4 seats now, 4 seats in the House, and I think 3 seats in the Senate, if I'm not mistaken, you would think that the future would already be out there looking to say, I'm your guy or I'm your woman to take that seat, to get us across. So we wouldn't be able to just say that we were going to be subject to some type of signing of an emergency bill or something else. So you have to go to the Senate and to the House.
But but here's the thing, so there's 3 things that need to happen that probably won't happen because Black people are still too dependent upon elites. And I'm going to say that again. We're too still dependent upon elites. We have yet to realize that New Orleans, at more than 20% of the revenue that we raise through tourism, through our culture, etc., take care of the state. There are a lot of parishes that don't produce anything, yet have nicer streets than us off our backs.
But the state of Louisiana is more dependent on federal funds than just about any other state.
It is, and a lot of those are going to be cut, so they're going to come for us. So whoever is our mayor is going to have to do 2 things. They're going to have to piss off all of the other parishes' leaders, a lot of the other reps for those parishes in order to defend us, because we already are barely eating. So whoever is our mayor is going to have to pretty much, this term, is going to have to tank their political career to protect us, or they're going to sell us out. So here's the thing. I like LaToya as a person. I did not like her that much as a mayor, but I will say this. She told the governor no when he came and tried to make French Quarter a state park so he could claim 99% of our tax base.
Mm-hmm.
She told them no for COVID. And those two things, I believe, is the reason she's indicted. It have nothing to do with this other foolishness.
Well, I can agree with you on that, even when she told the head of the business council for Jefferson Parish that she needed to open up New Orleans during the COVID time. And she was like, I'm sorry, why am I doing that for you? You didn't elect me. I'm doing this for my people.
For my people, exactly. And so here's the thing about LaToya. She stood strong and protected her people when people wasn't even looking, because the governor really was trying to get the French Quarter as a state park. And what people don't understand, they be like, I don't care about the French Quarter. The French Quarter is what they're going to say the tourism is, so they can claim 99% of our tax base that is built off of our culture. So we could really be a plantation. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, understand what's coming down the pike. Understand that whoever is our next mayor literally has to make enemies in order to protect us, and has to do it.
So let me play devil's advocate for a minute. You're gonna throw me out the chair through the phone in a minute. So let me play devil's advocate. Here it is. So some of that, I almost said, let them have it. Let them have the French Quarter, because good Lord, how much money would we be able to put into the rest of New Orleans that really needs the attention if we just didn't keep coming up and saying, French Quarter, French Quarter, French Quarter. We have put everything into the French Quarter, but we put nothing into the rest of the city.
And I hear you, but I would say that what they're going to say is that all of the tourism dollars, which equals between 5 and 10 billion,
right?
They're going to justify that all of that belongs to the state now.
Make that a deal before you say yes.
Including when we have things that are not in the French Quarter. When we have events, they're going to say the French Quarter is the pull for that, right? They're going to justify draining New Orleans of every penny. And here's the thing, what we know and what they also know is that international tourism isn't coming here for the French Quarter. They're coming here for the kindness and gentleness and welcomeness of the people.
Right.
But they're going to claim it because they've been liars, right? And so it is a way to literally drain us of every penny and try to disempower us. And because they are also a snake eating their own tail. Yeah. But you cannot expect nothing else of people who will poison their air, water, and land to get more money.
Come on.
And the air, water, and knowing that the money is going to be worthless when the air, water, and land is poisoned. Yeah. These are these same people that are doing this. So, of course, they're a snake eating their own tail. The question is when are we going to allow it? Honestly, we should just declare New Orleans tribal territory and not give them nothing. It's just like we couldn't cross the bridge during Hurricane Katrina to get to your parish. Why is your parish getting money off ours?
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
Y'all have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.
She was on fire. Somebody call 911 for me. Call 911. She was on fire.
They got hearts all in the comments on Facebook.
More coming up, folks. We got to take a break.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by Lowe's.com. The arrow is pointing up for women's sports and is starting to attract the attention of investors looking to break into the sports world. Melody Hobson is co-CEO and president of Black-owned Wall Street firm Ariel Investments and is part of a new venture there called Project Level. It's dedicated to investing in women's sports. On stage recently at a Bloomberg event, Hobson says she sees investing in women's sports similarly to how she sees investing in small-cap companies.
Smaller companies tend to grow faster. And we say the big guys, it's going to be harder to grow the way they've grown in the past. But the women have a big trajectory of growth in front of them. So this is where value meets growth.
The big guys she refers to are men's sports franchises. Hobson feels getting in on women's sports now could lead to big wins for investors down the road. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner. I'm the Black Business Beat.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members save even more with limited-time doorbuster deals. Save $5 on 24-count Contractor's Choice 42-gallon trash bags, now just $14.78. Plus, get your choice DeWalt Elite Series saw blades for $9.98. Not a Pro Rewards member? Join for free today at Lowe's. Valid through 9/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers.
And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com. Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Tired of the impersonal one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
I went on down to New Orleans and they all asked for Frank. On every street, all the people you meet, they all ask for Frank. They all know to vote for Frank, cause he has a plan. Make New Orleans shine, safe from crime, the best in all the land. Vote for Frank.
Paid for by the committee to elect Frank Skurlock for mayor.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back.
Why you look so disappointed in me, G?
Just welcome back. I can never be disappointed in you.
Oh.
Never. Ever. Because you're such a great person.
Thank you, G.
So smart, too. I mean, whippersnapper.
Thank you, G.
That's a good word, too, whippersnapper.
A young whippersnapper.
Uh-huh. So you know them old-fashioned terms, too, I see. All right, 504-582-9422 is the number. Miss Matthews, you back? Miss Matthews?
Yeah, good afternoon, Gerard, Dr. Shepard, and WBOK family. Can you hear me?
Barely.
I was calling in to say, just like Harold Melvin said, it's time for us to wake up everybody. Gerard, the madness has started. They found a young black male hanging from a tree at Delta State University about 2 hours ago in Cleveland, Mississippi.
Oh, no.
So I guess this is supposed to be in response to that Charlie Kirk mess. But I just say we as a people, we better wake up because they have declared war on black people.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says on the Clarion Ledger, it says the body has been found hanging at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi on day of scheduled centennial.
They called it a suicide. They've been doing that a lot when black men been hanging from trees.
Suicide. And all of a sudden, after, they've made threats at black colleges and this young man is body found hanging, it's horrible, I said we better stop fighting each other and realize
where is
our common enemy is.
Where's Cleveland, Mississippi?
I think it's not too far from what it is near Grenada. I think Grenada, Mississippi. I think it's somewhere up that way.
So it's a little ways out. Okay.
But when I saw that, I said, let me just call and tell him the
Good
madness has already started, and it's crazy because we didn't have anything to do with it, but it's just reminiscent of a period in history that we've already gone through,
Mm-hmm. I'm looking to all the classes.
Yes, ma'am. We're going back through those same periods of history.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And to me, not enough of our people look like they are, as they say, woke. I say, but like Harold Melvin said, we better wake up because we are under attack, whether we realize it or not. So we don't need to be fighting each other because we already have people who are attacking us. So I said, we definitely need to present, like Cedric was saying earlier, unity.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Miss Matthews. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in with the story.
Okay.
All righty.
See y'all later.
Bye-bye. Louis. Louis?
Yes, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good. Look, this is good news that this fellow has done what he's done. The Republican Party is alarmed and frightened. Young white men are rejecting the dogma. The fella at the golf course who tried to shoot Trump, the man on the building who tried to shoot Trump, the insurance kid who shot the executive in the back of the head, and this last experience. Most of these were Republicans, or they were from Republican families, and they know this. They know this. All of the school shootings, most of those kids are white and typically male, and they too have an issue with what's going on, and they are rejecting it. They are rejecting the dogma, and they are attacking the people who are producing it. The white Republicans are scared to death now because their own kids are going after them.
So let me ask you this too, and I don't know what your specialty is there, Louis, but I know I'm not a psychologist, and I don't try to play one on the air. But doesn't this in all, I guess, get up here, make you wonder what in the world is going on if the entire world had felt that way, or should I say the population of Caucasians, especially male Caucasians, felt the way that this being portrayed in the media, then why are we having these incidents of attempted assassinations of white males by white males?
Well, because the country has changed substantially, and these young white fellas are rejecting an attempt to take it back to the old days, and they are attacking their own. They are effectively attacking their own, and they are succeeding at it. The white Republicans are scared to death now. They're trying to project it off onto black people. They're trying to make us responsible for this.
Mm-hmm.
We are not.
But wouldn't this benefit other white males?
What
if there was no attempt to take it back, and they just went forward?
Yes, it would. But my point is that not all of the white young men are going along with this, and they are taking extreme measures. They are successfully, in some cases, they are attempting to fight back. Mm-hmm. And unlike us with rhetoric, they're fighting back with guns, with bullets.
So
they are attacking institutions and individuals.
So one of the things I was looking for in that comment here, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I noticed in the last one, and I analyzed this one myself, you can tell me if you're wrong, I'm wrong if you think so, is that there are other preliminaries that are not being considered in the entire makeup of this issue. When we start thinking about the young man that killed Charlie Kirk, it wasn't the fact that he had somebody in his family that was black. He wasn't in love with somebody that was black. He was in love with a man who was converting himself because he was transgender.
Right, absolutely.
And it was the MAGA Republican policies that he didn't like because he said, I don't like the way he talks. And, of course, they knew that he was in love with, was roommates with, a transgender male.
Exactly. The young fellow who killed the insurance executive had a similar circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
He was not concerned about what they did with black people. He was concerned that these insurance companies were causing trouble for white people.
Yep.
The Republican Party was sponsoring and supporting that kind of behavior, and these young white guys are fighting back. What's going to happen next is they're going to start blowing up buildings. They're going to start blowing up buildings. You're going to see buildings set ablaze all over the country. And it's going to be caused by these young white fellas. They're going to try to blame it on black people now. But it's going to be caused by these young white fellas because they are willing to die for what they believe.
I'm doing everything by internet and drive-through.
That's what I was about to say.
I ain't going to no buildings, paying no bills, nothing. Everything online and through the drive-through. So Louis just said that off. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the call.
You're welcome. Nice to talk to you.
Talk to you in a minute. Ann.
Hi. Good evening. Good afternoon.
How you
Thank
doing?
you so much for having this conversation. I think that it is much needed. I'm just going to be very, very brief. I'd like to just piggyback quickly on what the gentleman just mentioned, and also what your co-host mentioned earlier. we're looking at a situation where, whether formally or informally, we're dealing with three groups of people. We're dealing with Democrats, Republicans, and MAGA people. Those are three separate parties, three different sets of ideals. And that's one of the reasons that I really hate the fact or dislike the fact that we can't simply support a person. We have to support a party. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican personally. I tend to vote for the individual that falls in line with the beliefs and the policies and procedures that I think will benefit me, my family, and my community, be it Republican or Democrat. But because of the system that we have politically, you're forced to choose one or the other. And so as it relates to why this is happening, I'm going to say it's for one word, and that's hate. Because they have their man as it relates to the assassination or the murder of Charlie Kirk. They have their guy. Unfortunately, they're disappointed that he did not look like what they hoped that he would look like, so they could hide behind that. You have the Supreme Court, you've got the House, you've got the Congress, you've got so many people in your back pocket per se. So what are you angry for?
Mm-hmm.
You really don't have a reason to be mad, but you're mad. And really what that equates to is hate. If you're angry with me about something, you should be able to verbalize that to me. When we ask, what are you angry for? It's crickets. We don't get an answer because it's just hate. They have no reason to be angry, but they are. And I agree with the gentleman who spoke previously. I believe it's going to get progressively worse, not necessarily from a Democrat or a Republican, but just from a people who really believe in those ideals, and they're going to stand on it. They come hell or high water, come life or death. They are just that committed to their beliefs.
So where do we go from here? How do we solve this issue?
Unfortunately, Gerard, I honestly believe that this country is headed into a civil war.
Oh, Lord, I got to go to daggone academy and get me some
Let me
more.
tell you something.
I've
There's
been
a
told you
difference
that.
I gotta
between
go
the
get
truth and the fact.
What kind of, hold on, Miss Ann, let me find, what kind of ammunition you need?
We'll talk off there.
Okay. Oh, Miss Ann, I'm just trying to get my ammunition ready.
There's a difference between a truth and a fact, because the fact is that the gentleman was found innocent of killing Trayvon Martin, but the truth is he killed that baby. So there's a difference between the truth and the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be careful with that. And the truth of the matter is they can't explain why they're angry. Now it's being said that it's less liberals. No, it was not. No, it's not. We're very quiet. We're not saying anything. Why should we? We weren't a part of it. But the hate is still there. The spewing of what they really think and what they really feel is still there. Why? Because they really don't have a reason. It's just a lot of hate. I feel sorry for them, but unfortunately, we have to be cautious. We have to use wisdom, and we got to protect our peace and protect our families and protect ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I really do. I really, we have to show some type of force. Now, what that force is, I'm not saying that we need to get up and get our guns and go out here in the middle of the street and tell anybody you mess with us, you're going to FA and FO. What I am trying to tell people is protect yourself and protect your family.
Absolutely.
Don't be out here by yourself.
I find it very hard to believe that the gentleman. Let me put this disclaimer in here. I don't believe that anybody's opinion is justification for somebody being killed.
Nope. You're right.
But the thing about it is, let me say this. So you have a man who moved around freely and expressed his beliefs, but when people who don't believe in the same thing that he believed in express themselves, they're getting fired, they're being harassed, and all types of negative reactions. It's just, what kind of America is this?
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Ann. I appreciate you much.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Miss Monique? Monique? Do we miss?
Hola, G, and hola, doctor.
Hola.
Everyone online.
Oh.
Okay, this is what I have to say. I would like to say, first of all, the influencers, they are definitely pushing the narrative. If y'all thinking that these people don't have people in their back pocket, think again. And I really can't hear you that much if someone is talking, but another thing I would say, people are banking on the black people not to go out and vote. Let me tell you something. Our family already sent out a group text, and it doesn't matter who we like, who this and who that. All we know is we're trying to preserve our city, and we have a lot to lose if we don't preserve our city. And another thing, and I had a dream that I was coming from across the canal, and it had, what are those people? Not the Indians, the National Guards at the bottom of the bridge stopping people. Now, for one, don't y'all think they're not coming down there to do voter suppression? Because if those guards are down there, most people will not come out because some people are not legal to come out on the streets, and that's going to scare them. Calculate. You always have to calculate what's going on out there. Second, G, I really think your candidate, at this point, I used to was like, oh, but now I feel like somebody jeopardizing her in that jailhouse.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all scared to speak about it, I'm going to speak about it because I'm a realist. What else I have to say? Royce, he need to get up out the race. We need him in legislative. We need the powers that be to help New Orleans get pushed forward.
So you don't think he should even be running?
What you say, G?
You don't even think he should be running?
I don't think so. For what? He needs to stay on a higher level. You get someone that's going to push New Orleans there, and we're going to always have somebody to have our best interests. That's how it should be. We're not trying to have nobody come down here and be like, oh, now we just want to jump in the race. And from what I hear, his alumni is strong, and his little brothers in his association, they're ready to vote for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So people are looking. The young people are out there. People are talking. Don't think we just sitting down, not doing anything. There's a whole movement. Black people are on code. And the man, Will Sutton, yeah, let me get him together. He be on Channel 4. Y'all never see Channel 4 going for Oliver, or y'all never see him going for the other people. All you're saying is, oh, Helena got 47 votes. What poll? Y'all don't even put out accurate numbers. When you put out a poll, you're supposed to put out how many people voted on that poll. Who they open up this poll to.
So one of the things I'm gonna throw out here, Monique, because you stirred this up. I'm gonna blame this on you if they jump on me. I'm gonna
You
say,
can blame
Monique,
it. I'm not scared.
good. I ain't scared. I just want to blame it on somebody, so I'm gonna blame it on you. So you got this one. Here you go. I don't think that polls, number one, are accurate. That's number one.
Correct.
Number two, I don't think that nobody should be able to take part in a poll if your ass didn't get up and vote in the last 3 elections. If you didn't vote,
well, then we definitely not going to be in the poll because
you shouldn't be able. You should be able to take the poll. I can guarantee
our polls
you,
gonna be skewed.
Out of those 600 or 700 people that they are using for polls, ain't gonna vote. They're not. We're gonna have low voter turnout. We're gonna have low voter turnout, less than. And we were all happy and jumping up and down and doing boots on the ground with the fans and everything when they got 30%. That's low. 30% of the election is low. Now, don't get me wrong. I can appreciate everybody did the amendment that voted and voted those amendments down, but that is still low. So 70% of the folks in New Orleans didn't vote. Okay, I got that off. That's why I wanted to tell you.
We're beyond the point of being able to register people, though, right? So it's just a matter of.
I think you still do something online. I'll look it up, but I know that this past weekend was the last that you can vote register in person.
So. Well, we had a CTC reunion, and I saw you out there in the sheriff, and we did have voter registration, and we was able to get people to vote.
Yep, you
did.
So
I know for sure that we have caravans picking people up. We are going into the neighborhood and pick up people to make sure that they get out and vote.
And more churches need to be doing that too.
don't sleep. I want the people to know, don't sleep on us, because one thing I can say, and G, you know, I have some friends on here, y'all know that my situation or whatever, but if y'all allow certain people to get in, we'll never get that city back.
Yeah.
And people need to learn Spanish.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I'm gonna come right back. I'm not finished
Okay.
with you, so hold that thought. We gotta take a break.
Okay.
All right, more coming up, y'all. We'll talk back with Monique in a minute. Everybody hold tight.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. Could we be heading towards another government shutdown? Well, Democrats say yes, unless health care is on the table. They're demanding an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits, which expire at the end of this year. Without them, premiums could jump by about 75%. That's a cost millions of Americans cannot afford. Leader Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries say Republicans are gutting health care through cuts to Medicaid and refusal to extend those credits. But Republicans, including Senate Majority Leader John Thune, say Democrats want a fight with the Trump administration. President Trump himself brushed off their demands, calling Democrats something wrong. Government funding runs out September 30th. A stopgap deal is possible, but both sides are digging in, and this time, Democrats insist they will not back down. For these stories and more, go to AURN.com or follow me across social media at Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Not a day goes by that the President of the United States demonstrates his reckless lust for power, his seemingly maniacal disregard for due process. Characteristics in bold display recently to the entire world with his controversial and questionable decision to order the U.S. military to blow up a small boat in international waters, no less, killing 11 Venezuelans he suspected of smuggling drugs headed to America. This raises many troubling concerns. Underscore the word suspected. When did it become lawful to kill suspects? There was no search and seizure to confirm evidence, though the Trump administration insists they have taped conversations indicating the boat was occupied by drug smugglers associated with a Venezuelan gang. Does that warrant killing them? Why not just stop the boat and arresting the occupants? Consider that the boat was in international waters and not carrying enough fuel to even make it to the United States. In fact, they had turned around and headed back to Venezuela after noticing they were being tracked by the U.S. military. Legal specialists have called it a crime to kill suspected low-level drug smugglers as if they were wartime soldiers. I spoke with Lieutenant General Russell Honore, a former member of the Joint Chief of Staff's counter-drug strategy team. He says, what happened has never been seen before, is not normal. The general says the military is not a drug enforcement agency. What usually happens, he says, is the military uses sensors to track smugglers, turns the information over to the Coast Guard, who then attempts to stop, board the vessel, confiscate the drugs, and arrest smugglers. In the event that the vessel carrying the smugglers doesn't stop, the Coast Guard only shoots the engine out to disable the craft. Trump claims the Venezuelan suspects were a threat to America. Legal experts, along with top military lawyers, have rejected that premise. They question whether Trump has legal authority to treat suspected drug smuggling as tantamount to an attack on the United States. Even if one were to accept Trump's argument, I ask you, where was the threat when the boat had already turned away? Mind you, this is all happening within the time frame of the president changing the name of the Defense Department back to the Department of War, which dates back to the 1950s. A perfect fit, however, for Pete Hegseth, the current head of the, quote, War Department, unquote. A Trump sycophant who told Fox News that, quote, we smoked that narcotics boat and sent the narco-terrorists to the bottom of the ocean, end quote. Let me be clear. The U.S. military attack on a civilian boat in international waters allegedly carrying suspected drug smugglers is yet the latest attempt by Trump to test the limits of the law as he seeks to expand the scope of his presidential power. And with this sycophant Pete Hegseth in charge of the War Department, I shudder to think what would happen in a domestic situation, as took place during the Black Lives Matter protest when President Trump asked a military general if it was okay or legal to just shoot protesters in the leg. The general, of course, said no, telling the president to F off. What would Hegseth say? This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Attention, WBOK listeners. Are you a fan of the station and want to show your support and style? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the official WBOK merchandise, the perfect way to wear your love for the station. Whether you're a longtime listener or a new fan, we've got something for everyone. Head to WBOK1230.com now and grab your WBOK gear before it's gone. When you buy WBOK merch, you're not just getting quality items, you're supporting the station you love.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the whole water store, Pastor David Impartan Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Go ahead.
No.
Let me hear
You always be trying to get me in trouble coming back from off commercial break.
Go ahead.
I'm not.
Say it.
I won't.
Let them have it.
You say it.
No. All right, y'all. We're back. Final few minutes here before we get out. Monique, you still with us?
I'm still here.
Look, I wanted to ask you just because you seem to be into, and I might have to reverbiage what I just said as far as you seem to be. You know a lot more than what you're saying.
I know plenty more, but that's not for me to discuss. It's for the people to look at the facts, look at the history of each candidate, and do what's best for the city. And I feel like this. I can tell y'all some stuff, but I'm not going to say nothing. Matter of fact, I'm going to say it. I was at a church, right? My cousin, she turned 100 years old, and all the politicians was there. And they was handing over money. Arthur, Royce, the little clerk guy, he was there. Oliver was the only one that gave a proclamation, right? So I walked up to Royce, and I was like, look, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if y'all are definitely for the interest of people, whoever win needs to pull the other candidate that was running into their cabinet. Because it's more of a, the transplants, you have the people that's coming from up north, they coming down here. They have New Orleans looking like Boston, Massachusetts. And you have all these other people, undocumented people, moving in here. They own code. They know to go cut grass and take people land. They know they can come here and do whatever they want, and they can go down into the French quarters, you know, and go cook the food that they think they're cooking, and the stuff be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have people, influencers saying, oh, the food in New Orleans is nasty. So we online beefing with the influencers saying, girl, go back where you come from, Chicago, Shreveport, or whatever. So I go sit down in a restaurant. Matter of fact, Academy Oyster House, go sit down in the restaurant. The potato salad was whack. The gumbo was whack, right? All the food was really nasty. I asked the cook, who's cooking in the back? When they told me who's cooking in the back, you have people coming down here making money, but you don't want to give our people and the natives the job.
Right.
You have people running the Four Seasons Hotel. I went park out there, right? I went to the Riverwalk to go shopping because I'm home like every 2 weeks or every other week or however. She gonna tell me I can't park there. I said, Sunday, who told you you can make this decision? I would have the city come pick you up. I said, pick them up. I had pulled the Byron Cole move. I say, call a tow truck, tell them come tow me, and the city go pay back that ticket when I get finished with you. Some little white girl from up north somewhere, right? Even the men that work at the hotel, they don't like her because of her racist tones and their little racist ways and whatnot. All I'm trying to say is that we need our city. We do need to be more progressive.
Listen,
we do need to.
I want you to call me tomorrow. I want to talk to you more about it tomorrow.
What time you come on, G?
4 o'clock. Call me at 4 o'clock.
Okay, I'll come on.
I'm sorry I had to cut it off, but my producer acting a booty with me right now. Big old cheeks with a big old split down the middle. So that ain't even booty no more. That's straight ass. Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all.
I'll talk to you tomorrow here. Bye.
I see you later, G.
You all right?
Yeah, I had more I wanted to say.
We'll see you tomorrow.
But we gotta go.
He acting a booty.
WBOK. Online at WBOK1230.com.